you have Baker Mayfield falling all the way down to 11 to Miami, and then the Bills at 12, staying put, choosing Mason Rudolph in front of Lamar Jackson. Why do you think that, Bucky?
Couple things with both of those picks. I think in Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield is a really good player. He's an outstanding college player. But in most instances, if you're looking at Baker Mayfield as a talent, Baker Mayfield doesn't have the kind of talent that typically goes in the top 10. Baker Mayfield is undersized by all quarterback standards. He doesn't have exceptional athleticism like a Russell Wilson. And we can debate whether his arm talent is really that of Drew Brees. In most instances, a guy like that is not drafted in the first round. Drew Brees went at the top of the second round. So just think about that. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to put Baker Mayfield in that rarefied air. When it comes to Mason Rudolph over Lamar Jackson, I'm just going to keep it real. It's the same conversation that people are going to have with Josh Rosen. Most NFL people are traditionalists. They like to deal with things that are very, very comfortable, that they've seen before. They don't have the ability to really tap into the creative side. Lamar Jackson is a guy that requires a creative offensive mind to understand what he is and what he could do in the league. We saw Bill O'Brien revamp his entire offense to allow Deshaun Watson to be the special player that he was at Clemson, and we saw how that was rewarded. Defensive coaches typically have a greater appreciation for a dual-threat quarterback because they know the challenges that come along with defending a guy that can play off the script. Lamar Jackson is the most explosive athlete that we've seen at the quarterback position in some time. He can run it. He ran twice for over 1,500 yards in the ACC while also throwing for 3,500-plus yards. This is a tremendously talented player. However, because he doesn't fit the traditional box, a lot of people are going to bypass him and say that he can't get it done because he doesn't do it in a way that we've seen some traditionalists do it. I think whoever gets him is going to be very, very satisfied with him if they build that offense around him.
Yeah, I've seen stupid stuff like, "Hey, you don't trust him on 3rd and long." I mean, that's dumb and obviously not looking at the facts, stats, game film, and all that stuff with Lamar Jackson. And I think he's special written all over him too. And you have him landing in Baltimore. What would that mean for Flacco? I mean, what am I talking about on draft night? Lamar Jackson goes to Baltimore with Mayock and the crew about Flacco, Bucky.
I think Flacco's on a short leash anyway. Look, since Flacco got paid, Flacco has not delivered to the level of a $20 million-plus quarterback. He hasn't played very well. They haven't won a lot of games since their Super Bowl. They're really, let's be honest, he got hot during the playoffs. He was 11-1, touchdown interception, and they did a good job. But whenever the Ravens have really won, it in the past was always with Ray Rice carrying the load and him playing as a sidekick. Now we've seen what the franchise looks like when he is the guy that has to carry it and he can't carry it. If you start to connect the dots, a week ago they signed RG3. RG3 as a backup quarterback. For years we've always heard you can't have a dual-threat quarterback because if he gets hurt, you have to change your offense for the second guy. Well, Baltimore is already setting the table for if Lamar Jackson comes in as a starter, RG3 as the backup, you never have to change your offense. I do believe it's real, and when you look at the coaches that they have there, Marty Mornwig, he coached not only Brett Favre, but he coached Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick in Philly. He also has experience dealing with Steve Young. Greg Roman, who was a senior offensive assistant, was in San Francisco when Colin Kaepernick was there. If you look up and try and line up the dots, the Baltimore Ravens are more ready and capable of dealing with a dual-threat quarterback like Lamar Jackson than any other team in the league. I think it could be a very, very real possibility that Lamar goes to Baltimore.
Fantastic.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.